The House at the End of Ashwood Lane. Part 1. It started with a Craigslist ad. A room for rent, $200 a month. Utilities included. I was broke, desperate, and tired of sleeping in my car. The ad was vague, but the price was impossible to ignore. The address, 1313 Ashwood Lane. I didn't know the neighborhood, but I didn't care. I just needed a roof. When I first arrived, I almost turned back. The house stood at the very end of the street, leaning slightly as if it had been waiting too long for someone to notice it. The paint peeled in long strips. The windows were covered with yellowed curtains, and the lawn was a jungle of weeds. Yet there was something else, the silence. Even in the middle of the day, the street felt abandoned. No children playing, no cars, no dogs barking, just stillness. A man opened the door before I even knocked. Tall, thin, dressed in clothes a decade out of fashion. His face was pale, and his eyes never quite looked at mine. "You're here for the room," he said, not asked. "Yes," I answered. Without a word, he stepped aside. The inside of the house smelled of dust and something faintly metallic, like rust. The wallpaper was peeling, and the wooden floor creaked under every step. "There are rules," the man said, his voice flat. "Rent is due on the 1st. Don't go into the basement. Don't open the third door in the upstairs hallway, and whatever you do, never answer the phone after midnight." He handed me a brass key, its surface worn smooth from use. I almost laughed, thinking it was some weird joke, but he didn't smile. The first night was uneventful. I unpacked my bag, set up my mattress, and tried to convince myself I was lucky. $200 a month was practically free. The second night I heard it, a creak, a whisper. At first, I thought it was the wind slipping through cracks in the old house. But when I pressed my ear to the wall, I could swear I heard voices, murmuring, too faint to understand. By the third night, I wasn't sleeping well. Every time I closed my eyes, I'd jolt awake to the sound of footsteps in the hallway. Slow, careful, as if someone didn't want to be heard. At 3:07 in the morning, I gathered the courage to open my door. The hallway was empty, but the basement door, it was open, just a crack. I told myself it had been left that way by mistake, but I knew what I'd seen earlier that day. A thick padlock snapped tightly shut. The air that drifted from below was colder than the rest of the house. Heavy. It smelled like damp stone, and something else. Something sweet, like rotting fruit. I should have gone back to bed. Instead, I grabbed my phone for light and stepped down. The stairs groaned beneath me, and the deeper I went, the colder it grew. My breath fogged in front of me. At the bottom, I found shelves stacked with jars. Not food, not preserves. Jars filled with things I couldn't identify. Black liquid, pale shapes pressed against the glass. My light trembled as I raised it higher. That's when I saw the desk. On it lay a leather-bound book, coated in dust. I opened the cover. The handwriting inside was frantic, uneven, as if written in the dark. The first line stopped me cold. "If you are reading this, it means the house has chosen you." I flipped the page. Words scrawled in ink, crossing over one another, desperate. "The house is alive. It feeds on those who stay. You can leave now, but if you stay past 7 nights, it will never let you go." I dropped the book, my chest tightening. That's when the light bulb above me flickered. Once, twice, then it went out. The basement was plunged into blackness, and in the dark I heard it, a breath, not mine, not human. Something was standing at the bottom of the stairs, and it whispered my name, to be continued.